Superstock thousands. Pole position then for Jason O'Halloran. Danny Buchan, Lee Jackson join him. Oh, poor start from Jackson. He gets eaten up by the rest of the crowd, but a good start from O'Halloran, who bullets ahead of Danny Buchan. They weave right round Allard's, left through green corner, and already Buchan has stamped his authority on the early proceedings as he breaks into Campbell's, the first 50-mile-an-hour right-hander. And once they get through this complex, it's a massive surge out into the Hampshire countryside at absolutely mind-boggling speeds.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful here, because Danny Buchan, who's just been unbelievable in this class so far this year, he's had 4 wins and 1 second spot. You know, they don't want to let him get too far ahead. Jason O'Halloran there in second spot on the Honda, and then there's the crowd. Ooh. You see Lee Jackson there over the bumps. He knew he had to take a foot off.
This is the first lap then of 16. Danny Buchan, Jason O'Halloran, Jenkinson's made a blazing start with his new team, the Northern Escalator Racing Kawasaki, the blue and white, largely blue and white bike. There, number 11, the lad who finished second, of course, in the championship last year, right there running in third place, with Lee Jackson trying to nose his way around the outside as they come down from enormous speed down Woodham Hill through the club chicane. Whoa, and someone getting it well wrong. And I think that might have been Dean Brown on the Bravus Opus Kawasaki. The Motherwell lad, the 21-year-old Scotsman, dipping his feet into the 1000s for the first time, and probably just getting carried away a bit with the sheer speed down that back straight.
Oh, you just saw there Jackson just slipping up into third spot, just going underneath Adam Jenkinson. So Jackson on the BMW, it's Kawasaki, Honda, BMW, Kawasaki.
Clean move by the quiet Lincolnshire lad, who's looking very, very calm and relaxed, not only about racing Superstock, but also enjoying his outing on the Superstock machine. Look at this. Buchan has he's dragged out. He had a .359 second advantage across the line. That's actually quite big by the standards of Thruxton, this massive slipstreaming circuit.
Oh, as they go into Churches, Jackson having a look up the inside.
Jackson again had that outside foot unseated as he went across the huge bumps.
And you saw O'Halloran there spinning it up, coming out of Church. That's 130, 140 miles an hour. He had the rear spinning and moving on the way out. Great move from him. So have a little look back at Jackson as Burns and Backlund.
Joe Burns has clawed his way past Adam Jenkinson there on the brakes. Backlund is right behind Jenkinson now as they charge across the line. And they've got a lovely board there that had Scampi on the top as Buchan, Jackson, O'Halloran, Burns burn their way across the line. Jenkinson 5th, Backlund in 6th, Josh Day, Hudson Kenner, Dave Johnson, Gavin Hunt in 10th. Yeah,
and Jackson just broke the lap record then, a 1:16.3. The lap record was a 1:16.9 from Steve Plater, set back in 2010. So
that's a momentous lap, James. That lap record's been cast iron for a long time. So Lee Bob Jackson is properly on the move. He was unlucky, wasn't he, James, a couple of weeks ago not to win at Brands Hatch. He got kind of muscled out on the final lap.
He did, and I tell you what, he's already bridged that gap towards Buchan at front there. So he is the man on the move, Jackson. And I think it's helped him riding the superbike a bit as well. Yeah. You know, he's getting that experience, and I'm sure he's getting on this, and this feels a bit more toy-like, and he's able to dominate it a bit more. He's learning all the time. He's got a great drive. We'll almost certainly see him pull out the slipstream and slip up the inside, and he does indeed. So Danny Buchan's got a race on his hands.
What a contrast in sheer physique, though, the 6'3" Danny Buchan, who can never really be expected to drop below about 12 stone. And look at this, the flyweight Lincolnshire lad just gallops past him down the straight.
This could be a quick lap as well. Be interesting to see whether he breaks it again on this lap. Are we going to see the first 15s? Not quite. No, it's a little bit slow on that lap, a 1:16.8. And you can see there Buchan, a 1:17.3.
Now, Danny, of course, now has the benefit of the huge slipstreams that you get round here. You go through this complex, the one that's named after 3. That one is Campbell's, after Sir Malcolm Campbell. This one, the left-hander, is after Sir John Cobb. And then the right-hander again after Sir Henry Seagrave, who, all 3 of them, great land speed world record breakers back in the day. And then through the left-hander at Noble's, named after another great land speed record breaker, Richard Noble. And it's all apposite, because as they streak through Goodwood now, they're up above 90, 100 miles an hour, and then way above that as they storm out into the countryside proper, through village, into Church, way over 150 miles an hour before they keel right round Church. And then this massive surge downhill through Brooklands and Woodham Hill.
Yeah, it's Danny Buchan's turn. He pulls out the slipstream, can't quite do it. And look at Joe Burns as well. He's snuck into fourth. And he's bringing along Backlund with him as well. Number 3 just behind Joe Burns in 5th.
Buchan snatches back the advantage on the brakes. So the front 5 have kind of broken away at the moment with Buchan, Jackson, O'Halloran, Burns, Backlund as they storm across the line. Jenkinson just slipping slightly out of touch, but of course he only sat on the bike for the first time on Friday afternoon, so he's still coming to terms with it. Hudson Kenner now into 7th.
Yeah, it's really nice actually. Obviously Jenkinson, you know, after Steve's team folded up, you know, he was on his own, and the guy listened to our commentary apparently, Jack, you know, heard that he was without a sponsor, and it was Kevin from Northern Escalators, a Halifax firm, so he was a nice northern lad, so they're getting out and sponsoring him, so it's really nice to see Jenkinson back, and of course Victor Cox is back as well, so he's in 14th.
As they go through, there is we're looking at the crowds going back through down the field. We're on the 5th lap of 16. There's Victor Cox riding number 28. He's up into 14th place.
So a big moment there. Just saw it, just as all the undulations as you come down there, you're hard on the power, you're 4th gear, trying to get it down, and the bike just slaps sideways on him a little bit. Back at the front, Buchan's got the inside line this lap. He will take that. And then it's Jackson, and these two have just brought themselves, I was going to say a bit of distance, but no, O'Halloran's still there, as is Burns, Backlund, and Jenkinson's coming back as well.
Something seemed to bounce across the infield then. Did it come off one of the bikes? Before someone had lobbed a Coke can into proceedings. Now storming around the right-hander at Allard's, and then the sweep left through green corner, 130-mile-an-hour touch before they break back for Campbell's. The right-hander through the complex now. Danny Buchan still in the lead. Lee Jackson just shadowing him second. Very similar looking red and white colour scheme to the Honda Racing Fireblade in 3rd place there of Jason O'Halloran. And as you can see that Adam Jenkinson working really hard to hang on to the back of these guys. The Cheshire-based landscape gardener really loving being back in action. Runner-up, of course, in the championship last year to Hudson Kenner. Led it for a long time.
And just look at the bikes just moving. You can see all the black lines as you come down there, as we head down into Church, the fastest corner in the UK. Great corner. Then watch the rears as they come out. Oh, Danny had it a bit too sideways, a bit early there, had to roll off. He might have lost a fraction. And here he comes straight away. Jackson is past him.
Just Jackson takes advantage of that moment, gets himself in the vacuum, slipstreams his way back through into the lead. James, are these bikes pretty much on standard road tyres, or are they on something special? Is this what standard road tyres are capable of these days?
It's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing. I mean, obviously they're soft compounds, but they are, you know, they have to be homologated tyres, and everyone is of course on the same. Everyone is on Pirellis, and they work fantastic. They're unbelievable how good these treaded tyres are these days.
7th lap of 16 then, and the tyre's certainly been worked to death, because even after the National 600 Superstock race this morning that was run by Kyle Ride, when he was interviewed afterwards, Kyle said his rear tyre was mullered after about 3 laps, so they certainly have to work them hard around a track like this.
Yeah, you do. And just as we look back there, the current champion Hudson Kenner, he's in 7th spot, so he's just on that. He's sort of in between the two groups, the leading pack and the next pack. Obviously, he got you know, he got his points taken away. He got disqualified from the last race at Brands after technical infringement. So yeah, his championship is almost certainly gone now. Not that it looks like anyone can actually handle Buchan this year, because he's been incredible.
We're watching the battle involving Tom Tunstall from Huddersfield. The Dootson Motorsport Kawasaki there was running in 15th place with a train of riders behind him. Look at this lot. Out of the bubble they pop. Massive slipstream effect as they come down the road. And Philip Backlund, the Swede, snatches the advantage. But Lee Jackson forces his way through on the inside as they come through the chicane. Brave move for the 18-year-old. He's back at the front.
Yeah, it was great stuff from Philip Backlund there. And that just goes to show slipstreaming is so important here at Thruxton. We saw it yesterday in the sprint race in the Supersport. You know, you don't want to be leading coming out of there ideally on the last lap, because you will get drafted. And you know, Philip Backlund, he was in 4th there and just used all the slipstream and popped out to 1st. And now we've got this well, we've got all 6 back at the front again. Slipstream is going to be critical.
So as they storm onto the 8th lap of 16, Jackson, Backlund, O'Halloran, Buchan, Burns, Jenkinson, any one of them could win this race.
This is good as well. This is what...
Philip Backlund still has the advantage. Oh, and another big moment as he tries to hold onto the inside line and fend off Buchan as the two Kawasaki's hurtle round Church. Then the left-hander at Brooklands, now onto Woodham Hill. And Buchan will leave it late, but the big, tall lad from Burnham-on-Crouch does storm his way through. And he hits the front as they go through Club Chicane to complete 9 out of 16 laps.
Tell you what, it's a fantastic ride from Backlund, isn't it? You know, it's the best we've seen. Really dicing out, looks smooth, looks neat on the bike. We're talking, of course, about the man in second spot, number 3, and it's a very strong ride. The bike looks good as well, looks really settled.
24-year-old Philip Backlund kicked off as a motocross. He's got experience in pro superbikes and World Endurance Championship and obviously in Swedish superbikes before coming over and finishing 3rd in last year's Superstock Championship, so with a victory at Silverstone. So looking for a second race win. Philip Backlund there on the ILR Kawasaki, running in second place behind Danny Buchan, and Big Danny just a hint of an escape here, James, by the championship leader.
Yeah, a little bit, but he'll probably get sucked along just as they come down here. And Philip Backlund, you know, obviously the man in second spot. He's had one podium so far this year. He's 4th in the championship, 1/3 spot. So this is his best ride if he can keep this. But look, here he comes already. He's picking up the scent, and bang, he's passed early.
I love it when they pull out that early, and they're so confident on the brakes then to back it off all the way into the Club Chicane, and even confident enough to take the wide entrance to Club and not expect to get anyone diving underneath them. This is Hudson Kenner, the reigning champion, looking back at Josh Day. And the number 35 by Gavin Hunt, that's the teammate of Adam Jenkinson. This is Hudson Kenner and Michael Robertson, the young man from Danderhall up in Scotland. Long trip down to Hampshire for him, but he's making it well worthwhile here, battling with the reigning champion.
He is indeed doing a really good job there. See, he's looking for a way past as well. So, Hudson, there's a problem with Hudson.
Oh, Kenner's got a problem.
Yeah, he's something going on there. He knows it. It's obviously not. I can only imagine it's maybe electrical, because he's still riding it along. He can't be dropping anything or it'd be off the track. So it must be some sort of intermittent problem.
Something happened with the Linksel Trick Motor Racing BMW, South African Hudson Kenner. 2/3 race distance complete. Number 3, Philip Backlund leads the way. Second place for number 83, Danny Buchan. And once again, they'll be hunting down the slipstream as they dive down into... But Danny tries to go the long way around. That's not going to work too well unless he can really make it count on the inside of the chicane. Lee Jackson in 3rd. Jason O'Halloran still there in 4th place.
I tell you what, Jenkinson as well, he's coming back in. They're just starting to drop Burns in 6th spot, but Adam Jenkinson on the Northern Escalators bike is coming back in the fray here. He's right on the back of O'Halloran.
This could get very entertaining. One thing that Jason was telling me yesterday, James, was how one of the problems with this circuit is you really have to get right up to speed to sort out your position on the track. You can't figure out your lines until you're going absolutely in the sweet spot, and that's got to be very fast.
It is, and it's funny here because you get here, your bike never feels brilliant around here. It's not like you ever feel it's absolutely dialed in, because by the very nature of the track, the high speed, the bumps, the undulations, the thing just floats around, and it's easy to chase your tail a little bit, trying to work for an ideal setting, and you just have to compromise a little bit here.
Can I apologise to Robert Croft, because I've been having Philip Backlund on the ILR Racing Kawasaki. That was last year, of course, when he finished 3rd in the championship. He's actually on Robin Croft's SMT Racing Kawasaki, the guys who are based up on Merseyside. The number 3 machine then of Backlund still leads the way. Danny Buchan trying to get on terms. He leave it very, very late, and he does push through on the inside into Club. That's the 12th lap of 16, so 3/4 race distance about to be completed.
Yeah, and Philip Backlund really clever. His reading is making it so difficult there and forcing him. He's very late to come back online, so he is making it, you know, forcing him to the outside. Hudson Kenner in the pits there, so he'll be upset. His championship, that is the reigning championship. It is over for him. There's no doubt there. 6th in the championship now. He's had the 1 podium, 1 win at Snep, but apart from that, it's not been a great year for him moving over to the BMW.
Once again, the gap's close. Just when I thought those two Kawasaki's had escaped, O'Halloran and Jackson are pulling themselves back onto their tail, and Jenkinson and Burns still in contention. Joe Burns, the engine-building Geordie boy and kid, half-brother, of course, of Chris Burns, former MotoGP rider, still there in the mix in 6th place.
I tell you what, they're going to... Buchan is really, really good around Noble and Goodwood, and then Village coming out of there. And he just always pulls a little bit of time, and they're going to have to be careful of that, because if he can just eke that out on the last lap, when he's got 3 more laps to go, he buys himself nearly enough time. What beautiful sliding round there you see the guys doing. It is so fast, and up to 200 miles an hour down this back straight, and then hard on the brakes as we come down to the little chicane at Club. Oh, he's gone wide. Oh,
he's got to ride across. He's got to be careful as he rejoins. He can't make up any time. He can rejoin in 2nd place, which he does. Expertly judged then by Philip Backlund. Oh, but Jason O'Halloran's not having it, and he knees his way past.
Yeah,
so O'Halloran 2nd.
Just got run a bit wide there, and you know, he had no choice but to go across the chicane and back on. But as you say, as long as you don't take an advantage, often you do see a rider raise their hand, just slot in. But it was such a tight race, he didn't really have time for that. Grabbed his position back, and away we're off. And we look at the bike in 2nd spot. He's just a little bit tight going up the inside. He has a bit of a wobble, and he can't quite keep the brake on the right amount of pressure, and then he's a little bit stuck there. Comes across, has a good look, and then slots straight back in.
Danny Buchan's only been beaten once in this series so far. That was when he finished 2nd at Snetterton to Hudson Kenner. And here he is at the front, but under all sorts of assaults as we're on the 14th of 16 laps.
This is going to be interesting. All 4 of them coming out of here. Let's see what we can... Oh, lovely slide from O'Halloran as well. And just look at these guys come out. O'Halloran's pulling out, and you can see Backlund and Jackson. Jackson's now up into 3rd. So, I don't know, O'Halloran's up into 1st, and Jackson's up in 2nd as well.
Jackson boxes everything in at that point. Buchan had made O'Halloran go such a long way round, moved him right over to the right-hand side through Brooklands.
And I tell you what, it's going to be a treat into there on the last lap. That is a great example of the slipstreaming that is required here. And all 6 riders are back in it. Jenkinson's in there. Who might win this? It might be the man in 5th spot. We'll see. It's the penultimate lap. Oh, and Backlund Buchan really toughed out with him there, but that's cost them both a bit of time there.
So it's the red and white bikes at the front right now. Honda Fireblade leading build-based BMW. 3rd place for Danny Buchan, fending up Philip Backlund. And the tyres now are, as Kyle Wright would say, properly mullered, and they're sliding everywhere. And
it is just the nature of the circuit as well, but you can see O'Halloran watch their rears around here as well. They sit, they buck, they spin and slide, and he just helped just finish off the last turn. Look at it, smoking all the way down. O'Halloran's thing is loose.
O'Halloran still at the front, and everything being put into the pursuit by Lee Jackson on the build-based BMW. Well, there's going to be some mighty slipstreaming down the Woodham Hill this time around. This is the penultimate lap of 16. At the moment, it's O'Halloran, Jackson, Buchan, Backlund. Will that last? Here we go. Jackson will look up the inside. There's no room.
I tell you what, O'Halloran was superb out of church on that lap. He had it sliding from the apex all the way out, and that was why they couldn't get past him. He actually bought himself a little bit of time, and the speed of the Honda was pretty good down there. The last lap.
Now, it could be that Jason could actually defend his lead if he chose to be at the front on this final lap.
Yeah, he is spinning it up everywhere. I can't believe how sideways he is on that Honda. But he's just dialing it in beautiful. His throttle control, his balance, I mean, it just looks so comfortable on it.
So many of these guys, of course, have been dirt trackers when they were kids. But Jason O'Halloran is a guy of an Australian who actually went very early into road racing. He leads the way here on the final lap. Lee Jackson in 2nd place. Danny Buchan, championship leader, 4 times a race winner this season out of 5, is there in 3rd place, as the BMW riding almost round the outside of the Honda. And once again, it'll be so vital now through Church, 120 miles an hour. Whoever gets the best drive onto Brooklands and the Woodham Hill. Look at that! Oh, get on! 122, Jason O'Halloran. He almost deserves to win it on that alone, but he's going to get assaulted now as they surge down. He's not in the right place as they go down to the club chicane. Lee Jackson is Lee Bob's getting edged aside by Danny Buchan, side by side through the club chicane. Lee Jackson, he's going to take his first victory on a 1000cc Superstocker. He does it. The kid from Lincoln has battered aside Danny Buchan. Buchanan, Jason O'Halloran, Philip Backlandforth, Joe Burns edges out Adam Jenkinson. Gavin Hunt gets 7th place. A great result then for the Northern Escalators team. 6th and 7th. Robertson 8th, ahead of Josh Day and James Egan.
What a brilliant race, and what a last run. The slipstream, it's all about the slipstream. Now this is, look, apparently we're just hearing that there's a yellow on the exit and someone down, but they can't see that at this point. Now they can, but wow, what a race. And O'Halloran on that last lap out of Church, what a bit of bike control, spinning it up 130, 140 miles an hour, just perfect. But what a great race for Lee Jackson. Well done, excellent.
I think we can safely say the 18-year-old Lincolnshireman has got the handle of a 1000cc superbike. What a win. The result of an enthralling 1000cc Superstock race here. David Johnson, Tom Tunstall in the points on the Dootson bike ahead of Johnny Black.